And here we are again. We have covered reason, science, and humanism out of the four themes of Steven Pinker's Enlightenment Now. In the first chapter of the book, Dare to Understand, and we're going to begin to talk about progress. And there are quite a few paragraphs in the first chapter about what the Enlightenment thinkers thought progress is. I have 5 paragraphs here that I want to share, but I'm not even totally sure that we're going to get through all of them because I don't want to draw this out too long. But I'll begin here. If the abolition of slavery and cruel punishment is not progress, nothing is, which brings us to the fourth Enlightenment ideal. With our understanding of the world advanced by science and our circle of sympathy expanded through reason and cosmopolitanism, humanity could make intellectual and moral progress. If it need not resign itself to the miseries and irrationalities of the present, nor try to turn back the clock to a lost golden age. The Enlightenment belief in progress should not be confused with the 19th century romantic belief in mystical forces, laws, dialectics, struggles, unfoldings, destinies, ages of man, and evolutionary forces that propel mankind ever upward toward utopia. As Kant's remark about increasing knowledge and purging errors indicates, it was more prosaic, a combination of reason and humanism. If we keep track of how our laws and manners are doing, think up ways to improve them, try them out, and keep the ones that make people better off, we can gradually make the world a better place. Science itself creeps forward through this cycle of theory and experiment, and its ceaseless headway, superimposed on local setbacks and reversals, shows how progress is possible. So I want to go a little bit deeper into this idea, increasing knowledge and purging errors, and the idea of incremental improvement, because that is one of the, what I think of as revolutionary achievements of this book. As we get into it, we'll see there is data, actual numbers, to support the idea that there's been massive improvement in the quality of life of humanity over the last 200 years. And it's something we don't think about very much. It is also, even the assertion of that idea appears to be controversial, and that has been the case in the reception to Stephen's book. There are many, many people that want to push back on this idea, or to say that yes, there have been many improvements, but that we've sort of reached this breaking point where now we're about to go downhill rapidly and even perhaps face extinction as human beings. All of which is just, it's another topic entirely. What I'm trying to do is focus on the very interesting idea put forward by this book, which is actually not grandiose. It's not even philosophical particularly. It's a simple idea that if you use reason and you have sympathy for people, for the human race, and you employ science, that you can make genuine progress in how everyone experiences life, in everyone's health, even in how long we live. And um, you could call this an optimistic point of view, and it is, but um, it is more an ethic than thinking with rose colored glasses. And that's why when he says this shouldn't be confused with the 19th century romantic belief in mystical forces, laws, dialectic struggles, unfoldings, destinies, ages of man, and evolutionary forces that propel mankind ever upward toward utopia. That's an important point to make, because some people do just have the idea that we're transitioning into a new age, or um, there's something predestined about what's going to be happening in this time, and without addressing the evidence for that or where that idea came from. This is a different idea. This is, again, a really simple idea. I'll go on. The ideal of progress also should not be confused with the 20th century movement to re-engineer society for the convenience of technocrats and planners, which the political scientist James Scott calls authoritarian high modernism. The movement denied the existence of human nature, with its messy needs for beauty, nature, tradition, and social intimacy. Starting from a clean tablecloth, the modernists designed urban renewal projects that replaced vibrant neighborhoods with freeways, high-rises, windswept plazas, and brutalist architecture. Mankind will be reborn, they theorized, and live in an ordered relation to the whole. Though these developments were sometimes linked to the word progress, the usage was ironic. Progress unguided by humanism is not progress. And this reminds me of the whole sweep of architecture and thinking that was occurring, let's say, in the 50s, and to which the children of the 60s rebelled. We'll keep going. Rather than trying to shape human nature, the Enlightenment hope for progress was concentrated on human institutions. Human-made systems like governments, laws, schools, markets, and international bodies are a natural target for the application of reason to human betterment. And I'm thinking what comes to mind is the United Nations. Again, apparently somewhat of a controversial institution, but one that has certainly applied reason to the proposition of human betterment. In this way of thinking, government is not a divine fiat to reign, a synonym for society or an avatar of the national, religious, or racial soul. It is a human invention tacitly agreed to in a social contract, designed to enhance the welfare of citizens by coordinating their behavior and discouraging selfish acts that may be tempting to every individual but leave everyone worse off. As the most famous product of the Enlightenment, the Declaration of Independence, put it, in order to secure the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, governments are instituted among people, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. So this is again a way of putting the individual at the center of the equation for the destiny of everyone. And this excites me. It turns me on. Call me crazy. Thank you for being here. We'll keep going very soon.